Hello, Contrarians listeners, watchers, subscribers. Here we are with another Contrarians post credits. This, of course, smack dab in the middle of the summer of the bangers, summer of the MTV bangers. And this latest entry, I mean, how do you follow up our episode on Independence Day, released on Independence Day? How do you up the ante, Alex? What's more dangerous than aliens coming to the planet and blowing up landmarks? An asteroid, right? That's the natural escalation of things.
I guess so. The size of Texas, no less.
Yeah, that's how you know it's big. That's the only way that America could understand how big something is. Compare it to one of the states.
Yeah, well, the big one,
the biggest state,
the one that has the expression "everything's bigger in." So
yes, yeah. So Armageddon. In case you didn't pick that up and you didn't look at the title of the video. For all our enthusiasm in this introduction, critics were not as happy with it. It's rotten on the tomato meter. It's 43% rotten. So that means, as you know, on the main feed, on the main episode of the podcast, we're going to say really nice things about it. And then we'll tell you how we really feel. But here, Alex, we have Rotten Tomatoes quotes. We have a little bit of trailer chatter. We have trivia. And of course, the Josh Gad Minute. Gonna put Josh Gad on that spaceship and send him to fight the meteor, unless we decide to leave him behind on Earth.
I mean, there's a lot of superfluous characters in this movie, so.
All right, but let's get started where we always start, with the consensus. 43%, as I said. The critics say, well, it's not the critics, Rotten Tomatoes says, lovely to look at, but about as intelligent as the asteroid that serves as the movie's antagonist.
I don't even know if I'd say lovely to look at.
Liv Tyler is lovely to look at.
Touche.
Young Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
Will Patton. It's kind of a lovely
heartthrob.
Yeah.
He was on the cover of Tiger Beat leading into the release of this.
Armageddon slickly sums up the cinematic legacies of producer Jerry Bruckheimer and director Michael Bay. Does that still apply? Is that like on the Mount Rushmore of these men's filmographies? Is Armageddon one of those that just defines it for the world, for history? I mean, I know if you talk to us, we say Pain and Gain is what really defines the true heart of Michael Bay.
No, I'm thinking of Jerry Bruckheimer, like from that perspective. I mean, he had Con Air. That was the year before this, I believe.
Is it? Yeah.
Jerry Bruckheimer's got a lot to go off of, but yeah, I mean, Pain and Gain to me is the zenith of that. That is the finale of the Michael Bay experiment. That is the conclusion to which it came. But
everything else after that is that last season of Scrubs, like season 9 or whatever.
I guess, yeah. If you did if Mount Rushmore, so you're saying 4 things that Michael Bay is known for. Pain and Gain made like $150 million, but
I don't think many people know that's a Michael Bay
movie.
It's
funny you say that, and people are like, well, but Michael Bay standards, that doesn't mean anything. It'd be like 4 of the Transformers movies.
Yeah, it would be. That's the thing. I was thinking, I think there's a generation that if they hear the name Michael Bay, they think Transformers. Right?
They should.
Really?
Dude, yes. The first Transformers, like the Marvel Cinematic Universe may not exist if that first Transformers movie hadn't come out in 2007. Look, yes, there's dominoes that need to be set in motion because Iron Man needs to do as well as it does, and obviously The Dark Knight changed everything. But that Transformers movie in 2007, I don't like. If you go back in time to, what is it, 4th of July weekend, 2007, you just pluck that part of history out, and then you come back to 2025. Who knows? Maybe we're living like a liberal haven. I don't know, man.
I mean, I'm not saying that anybody should do that, but if you do have the capacity to time travel, let's see what happens. But then put it back right away. Like, take the chip away and then put it back.
It's too late.
Bruckheimer, much like Transformers for Michael Bay, I think that the Pirates of the Caribbean movies have come to define the Bruckheimer logo and the name for a lot of people, including myself, maybe. I know.
Did he have like the lightning bolt?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So I think that maybe now who talks about Armageddon today? You know, like maybe at the time, and maybe
it's predominantly people in our age range. We'll like make
yeah,
some reference or joke about it. We talk about this in the episode. People younger than myself and Julio, like a generation below us, the Aerosmith song has outlived the legacy of Armageddon.
right. Yeah, but they, I mean, I don't know. Obviously, we do, and I mentioned on the episode, our friend Paul from the Countdown podcast, right? He sent us a clip praising Armageddon, so he's, you know, he's our age. But because I was gonna say, who still has
It's got a Criterion.
that too? I guess, yeah. I mean, that name me any other Bruckheimer movie that has a Criterion. Maybe can't find any. So, anyway. If
There
you
will
have
be
any
that Pain and
thoughts,
Gain Criterion, maybe 20 years from now, but there will be one.
you gotta wait for Bay to do something outlandishly artsy, to where he suddenly regains
Or where
favor.
that gets like a retroactive praise, like a groundswell of support all the years later.
Well, people are like, well, you can connect the dots from Pain and Gain to this, the movie that got him a Best Director Oscar.
Whatever the social media platform at the time is, will have the posts of, we didn't appreciate The Rock in Pain and Gain enough.
Yeah, that's true.
Once he's an Academy Award winner for The Smashing Machine.
Yes. I thought you were saying The Rock as in like the Sean Connery, Nicolas Cage.
Oh,
Rock.
no, I'm sorry.
I think that you appreciate it. People,
No. The Rock, yeah, no. You know, people do that all the time. We didn't appreciate X in Y enough.
Yeah.
Dwayne Johnson and
DJ was not
DJ,
appreciated. Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Deej.
Anyway, you have thoughts about Jerry Bruckheimer and Michael-Bay's legacies? Let us know. But as far as Armageddon, got a couple of rotten quotes to share. Let's start with Matthew Rosa from Salon.com. Says, Armageddon's animus towards scientists and science runs so deep that on an intuitive level, a viewer could be forgiven for thinking that the mistakes are somehow connected to that intellectual prejudice. Is this movie anti-science, or is it just dumb?
It's dumb.
Yeah. This movie is not smart enough to have an agenda, right?
Imagine like trying to make a political stance against Armageddon, or like find like a political statement in Armageddon.
RFK just using this as his platform. Science is bad.
Dude, one of the worst like attacks on U.S. military in history is Pearl Harbor, and he made a fucking romance out of it. Like, you know, that's the fucking dude we're talking about here. So yeah, I don't think this was like a pro or anti-science argument. I think it was the trope of the nerdy guys warning the military guys if this is coming, and you don't know what you're talking about until it's too late, you know.
Oh, is that why it's anti-science? Because they're telling the astronauts, you stay back. The real salt of the earth people are the ones that are gonna save the world.
Oh, I think they're referring to like the part where Keith David's gonna detonate the nuke, and they're like, you don't know what you're gonna do, and it's like, God damn it, I'm in the military. So
I guess what's the name of is it Neil deGrasse Tyson?
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah, who is it? He's famous for just grabbing a piece of pop culture and then just sucking the fun out of it by telling you how it really is in the real world.
Yeah, but isn't he also the one that said like Interstellar was like there was accuracy into the universe that Nolan portrayed in that? Probably.
I mean, I
believe Christopher Nolan sat down and did all that.
Right. Yeah. I think whenever I've heard stuff that this guy Tyson has said, it always feels to me like he just can't help himself, right? He sees something that's wrong, and he's like, I gotta tell people that's not how asteroids work. And so I could just see him writing a review that's like this, where he just takes offense at how badly Armageddon gets the science. So it's not that Armageddon is anti-science, it's just that that's not how it would happen. If an asteroid was coming towards Earth, you wouldn't be able to stop the threat the way that they do it in this movie. And that misses the point.
Yeah, that misses the point that this movie made $550 million.
Yeah. So I think dumb, yes. An offense to science. I mean, I don't know. I guess if you take it that seriously, but then hell, most movies are going to be an offense to science.
Yeah.
So yeah, you gotta relax, Matthew Rosa. And then another rotten quote. Rene Rodriguez from Miami Herald says, Armageddon isn't made for grown-ups, and it isn't made for kids either. I'm not sure it's made for human beings, period. It's a banal, mechanical film replete with cheap patriotism and bogus sentiment.
$550 million.
That's what America wants. Give me all that cheap patriotism. What's a recent cheap patriotism movie we've had? Because we were like on the heels of Independence Day in '96 and then Armageddon '98. But do we even make those movies anymore? I mean, we're pretty critical of Independence Day. It's not like, well, you can't, because you can't take it even a little bit seriously enough for the movie to work. But what was our last Rah Rah America movie, Alex? Gotta check and see what Roland Emmerich has done.
Tommy Boy. I mean, he made The Patriot in 2000, which we also talk about in Independence Day, the hilarity of a German immigrant making all these like USA movies.
Yeah.
I mean, the first Transformers, honestly, was like a rah-rah America. Do you remember, like, the military has to go and fight them?
I remember the military is part of the story.
That part where Josh Duhamel or Dumhall grabs Shia LaBeouf and says, "Damn it, son, you're a soldier now."
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
in the wrong ways, Pain and Gain, Spring Breakers. It was like USA.
Yes, but you wouldn't call that cheap patriotism.
Well, educated folk would.
Well, yeah, I think I would call. I wouldn't say it's cheap. I would say that's insightful patriotism.
It's literally the last line of Pain and Gain, and that's the American dream. It's like,
yeah. Well, and then bogus sentiment. I mean, I don't know. That again, you're complaining.
It's a Michael Bay movie, dude. Like.
They take offense to the science part, and they take offense at what the animal crackers, like the Ben Affleck, Liv Tyler romance. Bruce Willis.
I keep waiting for the Aussie review that you send me, where there's someone offended of Ben Affleck's imitation of who I believe had to be the Crocodile Hunter at that point in time, but
or Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah,
Paul Hogan. I don't know. I get it, but it almost feels like you're. And I was gonna say, you're not kicking somebody who's down, because this movie was not down. This movie made a lot of money. It didn't care about critics that were unhappy with it. But at the same time, I think that if you're a critic and your go-to is saying that this is a dumb movie where the science doesn't make sense and the emotional scenes are manipulative, I'd be like, what did you think you were watching?
Yeah.
So that doesn't make any sense. Anyway, those were the quotes, Alex. You watched the trailer. Hopefully, like me, you watched it more than once because you couldn't believe the awesomeness of it. So let's do some trailer chatter. Thoughts, my friend?
It shows you like everything you want to see. Like it's tantalizing, and it's I don't know. Do you think it shows too much?
No, because this movie is like 2.5 hours. So
yes, can confirm.
I'll tell you this: if you don't know the movie, right? You haven't watched it, so you don't know that Bruce Willis dies at the end. Can you figure it out from the trailer, just from like the shots of people crying, and or do you think they're crying for Planet Earth?
They're crying for Planet USA. I think that at that point in time, it came with the territory that one of the big stars was going to die. I think it still does. I think, in a lot of ways, you'd assume in a big, huge movie like this, one of the main characters will die or perish at some point. That's kind of been done away with. Dude,
I wish I could remember, but
no one died in Oppenheimer.
Well, America's Soul did, but there wasn't a close-up of, OP tearing up. I would have thought Will Patton, right? Because they give him the backstory with the kid, so you already care.
April O'Neil.
Yeah, yes. In my mind, I'm thinking Bruce Willis never dies. Bruce Willis doesn't die in movies. He always prevails. So I'm thinking somebody has to sacrifice himself at the end. It's going to be the guy that is not a major superstar, but we've grown to care for him because one, he's a good actor, and two, he's, he has a little bit of backstory. So watching the trailer, I mean, I don't know that I would have thought that but knowing that Bruce Willis dies, when I watched the trailer, I'm like, man, that's like Affleck's close up from when Bruce Willis is dying.
Yeah.
And I think you
Wow.
see, yeah. What's his name? Frank? No, it's not Frank. What's Bruce Willis's name in this movie?
Harry.
Harry,
Yeah.
no.
It's teetering on a line, but man, we've gone through so many iterations of trailers, man. Like, you could give him nothing, then you got to give him everything, and then you got to just like do a little bit of this, a little bit of teasing, and then and now, fuck, there's a whole industry of people that make income analyzing trailers.
Let's suck all the fun, much like Neil deGrasse Tyson. Let's suck the fun out of this. Just well, here's the thing though, Alex. I'm not going to say that Independence Day started it, but in a post-Independence Day world,
yes, that's a very important thing to keep in mind here. Is everything had to do what Independence Day did, and that's going to come back into play here in just a minute.
Right, but that's the thing, right? If you're making this type of disaster movie, your trailer has to show you the destruction the way that Independence Day show you the destruction. It's like,
correct,
they showed you the White House exploding, so of course we have to see like the asteroids hitting the city and stuff blowing up. I mean, it's one of the big set pieces in the movie, and the trailer is like, sure, here you go, have at it. We have more to come. I think the difference is that Armageddon doesn't have as much going on as Independence Day. So it feels like it's giving you too much.
Despite the, I think by a few minutes longer runtime. But yes.
Yeah. And then the shot that I always think of when I think of Armageddon, it's in the trailer. It's also in the music video. We mentioned it on the episode.
Is it Billy Bob's head against the glass wall?
Of course it is. That's just, hey, it's Sling Blade. The big Hollywood picture. He just... it looks so dramatic
with his fucking GQ haircut.
Yeah.
And as we mentioned in the episode, he does close his eyes whilst Steven Tyler is singing "I Don't Want to Close My Eyes."
Yes, art. We've made this plea constantly throughout the run of our show, and I think more than once during the Summer of the Bangers. We're like, let's get back to making tie-in music videos.
Oh my god,
to
please.
Movies. Let's get it on the Marvel universe. The MCU could do with some of that spice.
It's not even an 90s thing, man. That existed in the 80s, and it bled into the 2000s as well. It's Starship had that song. Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now. That was for the movie Mannequin with Kim Cattrall, in which they're different mannequins at points in the music video. It's just, we used to be a proper society, man.
The next Avengers movie, the marketing starts with a new Oasis song.
Stop it. Nope.
Noel dressed as Captain America and Liam dressed as Iron Man.
You, with the right amount of money, could maybe get Liam to do something approximating that, but Noel, I don't. He said before, he hates. I'm not going to do the British accent, but he says I didn't get into music to make videos. So, but let's think of something contemporary. You get fucking. She seems fun too. You could, if you get Taylor Swift to do a song for one of those movies, you could do like a tie-in video easily.
The next Captain Marvel,
God, that movie would make $9 billion if you get all her fans to go to see it.
Yeah, I agree. There you go, Alex figured it out. But the Armageddon trailer, yes, it tells you very quickly what the movie's about because it's not that complicated. It shows you a lot of the money shots. It doesn't really matter, I guess. I think if you watch the trailer and you think there's a movie, assuming that you're familiar with the work of Michael Bay, you're going to get exactly what you were asking for, what you're expecting. So enough of the trailer, Alex. Before we go to trivia, it is time. Let's go into the Josh Gad Minute so we can place Josh Gad among the crew of the... Fuck, what's the name of the spaceship here? Is it the Lazarus? It's not the Lazarus.
The Lazarus is the boat they take in fucking Jason Takes Manhattan. Now, There's the two. There's the independence and the freedom. They have the two different.
That's right. It's Bruce Willis.
Fuck off, Michael Bay. Or I'm sorry, it's not Michael Bay. He just directed it. It's written by Jonathan Hensley and, of course, J.J. Abrams, who went on to have, well, not to have, but to take repeatedly the most thankless roles in Hollywood.
His bank account doesn't mind.
Brother. Now, as for the Josh Gad minute here, as I mentioned, there are many superfluous characters here. As far as aesthetics go, I think the immediate like, oh yeah, is that he takes Ken Campbell's role as Max because he's a bit of a portly white fellow.
Right.
You could insert him as almost anybody in the lineup here, but I wouldn't want to take away Will Patton. I wouldn't want to take away Steve Buscemi. You could honestly, with all due respect to William Fichtner, he could be Colonel Sharp, the commanding guy on deck. Got to keep Michael Clark Duncan. Got to keep musical star Peter Stormare. And
how about Owen Wilson?
Yeah, I mean, Owen Wilson, he went on to be fine either way, and he is really a nothing character. He's introduced, and you forget he exists, and then it's like, oh, he died.
He made a Star Wars joke, and then he died. That's it.
But honestly, for me, what I want to see in Josh Gad in this movie, you have to change the character a little bit, though. Like, for what I foresee this as. I think he should take the Jason Isaacs role where he's the guy that knows everything.
Oh,
but he's a bit more, a little bit longer hair that's kind of disheveled. He's got a 5 o'clock shadow, maybe a little flop sweat going on, and he's a bit more, I think, manic and neurotic. But he knows everything and tells everyone the way it's going to be. Because Jason Isaacs in this is like perpetually taking his glasses off and be like, "I thought I already told you." He's very
right.
Yeah, pretentious about everything. Whereas I think Josh Gad would be perfect in this role in that he could deliver it correctly, but in a very nervous way.
Yes, and that would definitely make the character. I like Jason Isaacs.
Oh yeah.
But I wouldn't blame anybody for forgetting that Jason Isaacs is in this movie because he's just kind of.
He's there.
He's there. He's in the background. He has a couple of like scenes where he talks, but for the most part, when he's up against bigger stars, and so I think that Gad would play it bigger and would play it more memorable. That said, if we're talking about leaving Gad behind on planet Earth, do you think Billy Bob Thornton's career makes the jump to Hollywood blockbusters without the Armageddon step? Like, can he go from Sling Blade to whatever he did after Armageddon without that in between? And then we can put Josh Gad as as the Billy Bob Thornton character.
Look, here's the deal. Push comes to shove, I think Billy Bob Thornton can kick my ass. So he's in that role. Josh Gad might be able to take me, but like that's a role like that of in power. This is probably from like the pro wrestling roots in me. I need to believe that person can kick my ass. And Josh Gad, I'm sorry. You probably can, but I'm not buying it.
So you don't want to see Josh Gad with like the, resting his head on the.
I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying that, I don't buy him in that role.
Okay. Well, then it's all or nothing. If I can't have Billy Bob Thornton, then put him on the crew, because at least that way he gets to sing when Ben Affleck has his musical number. What's the song?
Leaving on a Jet Plane.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the song, but Leaving on a Jet Plane.
Yeah, you can have the Gad just sing along. He's the one with the surprising voice.
That scene is so skin crawling, but then Michael Clark Duncan saves it.
Buscemi, I think I called him out on the episode. Buscemi has a surprisingly good voice when he starts singing.
It's Zach Galifianakis in The Hangover 3.
Yes,
got the voice of an angel.
All right, well, Josh Gad, on the record, I tried to get you the Billy Bob Thornton role, but Alex brought up the pro wrestling card, and I can't argue against that. So I guess you can take your pick, just don't pick Will Patton. All right, let's move on to trivia, Alex.
All right, so we are following up. Well, first of all, let's get started with the basics here. Michael Bay obviously directed this. Screenplays we mentioned a few minutes ago, Jonathan Hensley and J.J. Abrams. Story by credit went to Robert Roy Poole and Jonathan Hensley. Adaptation by Tony Gilroy and Shane Salerno. A lot of writing credits on this, which is always very funny with a movie like this.
Especially when you get a couple big names like Tony Gilroy and J.J. Abrams.
That's the whole fucking point, is like a movie like this, someone can just say, hey, an asteroid's coming towards Earth. And then someone's like, yes. And the way Hollywood works now, and has for quite a while, just because of so many fucking rights lawsuits and stuff, is, okay, well, they said this originally, so we got to get their name on the movie. So, and it is a Jerry Bruckheimer production. Released by Touchstone Pictures, which that little fucking dancing thing at the beginning of the movie made me happy. Being Touchstone. A budget of $140 million with a box office return of, as I mentioned, $553.7 million. We have to, because we're following this up, we have to compare this to Independence Day.
Yep.
And it was not the sensation Independence Day was. Made about $300 million less, which is a lot of money. But one of the things I want to call out here to immediately start off this portion is that in 1996 at Super Bowl 30, I mentioned this in our Independence Day episode. Independence Day kind of set the precedent, which it amazed me that it took that long to come up with this idea of advertising a big movie during the Super Bowl. And they advertised during Super Bowl 30, in which they paid $1.3 million for the time slot that they had. Super Bowl 32 in 1998 saw the Green Bay Packers lose to the Denver Broncos. And during said game, Armageddon had an advertisement. $2.6 million. Literally doubled in the course of 2 years. Because, I guess, the NFL and these fuckers saw it, and I don't think it would have been Roger Goodell at that time, but they were like, hey, these guys made a lot of money off this. Let's fucking tax them. And so that is, when I read that, I literally did one of those whole laughs out loud of holy shit. That's how much that changed that entire industry. Because we know the evolution of the Super Bowl commercial is well documented.
Right,
but
right.
The idea of in 2 years it doubled.
Something that comes up in the episode that kind of blew my mind was that this is the year that Godzilla, Roland Emmerich's Godzilla, came out.
Mm-hmm.
Was that time to where they could have also run a commercial during the Super Bowl?
I would imagine. Let's see, because it was also a summer release.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Was that May that came out?
So Memorial Day.
Yeah, it was the X-Men Origins Wolverine. We got to rush the visual effects so we can be the first movie of the summer. The main thing I remember Godzilla was they had that huge tie-in campaign with Taco Bell. What a time we lived in where massive summer blockbusters would go to Taco Bell for marketing. Because of course the next year it was Phantom Menace. That it was all fucking, it was Pepsi and Taco Bell. That was all you could get. So anyway, Armageddon following in the footsteps of Independence Day, but having to pay literally double the amount of money to do so. Despite mixed critical reception, the Criterion Collection, and here you go, parenthetically, a specialized film distributor of primarily art house films that markets what it considers to be, quote, important classic and contemporary films and, quote, cinema at its finest, released the director's cut of the film to DVD and Laserdisc. In an essay supporting the selection of Armageddon, film scholar Janine Bassinger, who taught Michael Bay at Wesleyan University, states that the film is, quote, a work of art by a cutting-edge artist who is a master of movement, light, color, and shape, and also of chaos, razzle-dazzle, and explosion. Following this, Bay signed the check for $500,000 and slid it across the table.
He ticked off his bucket list, Criterion release.
He pressed enter on his computer and the bank transfer went through. She sees it as a celebration of working men. This film makes these ordinary men noble, lifting their efforts up into an epic event. Further, she stated that in the first few moments of the film, the main characters were well established, saying, "If that isn't screenwriting, I don't know what is." And if you listen to the episode, myself and Julio would appreciate a minute for rebuttal on that one.
I mean, I guess it's screenwriting. Is it good screenwriting? That's really the question.
It's something.
Yeah.
It should surprise no one, really. But by April of 2002, television airings of Armageddon were edited to kind of chop out some of those scenes of destruction in New York City and stuff, So we talked about in the episode, I think we might have vaguely made allusion to it, like, man, this is kind of weird considering this is 3 years away from, unfortunately, what would happen in New York City in 2001. But
I guess that's what curbed at least for a while, that type of trailer and movie, like after 9/11, there's that hesitation to like just sell you a movie that's just like explosions and like landmarks blowing up. I mean, I think that eventually we kind of got over it, and but there has to have been a stretch of like 5 years at least where that was just a no. Just stay away from, at the very least, stay away from showing it in the marketing. There's that Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, Collateral Damage.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen it? Because I remember that was kind of like a thing when that came out, where people were saying, "Are we ready for this kind of movie again?" And I don't know if it bombed or not, but that's the one thing that I remember about it.
I don't know if I've actually ever seen that. It's a good question. The film is on the list of Roger Ebert's most hated films. In his original review, Ebert gave the film 1 star and stated, "The movie is an assault on the eyes, the ears, the brain, common sense, and the human desire to be entertained." On At the Movies, Ebert gave it a thumbs down. However, his co-host Gene Siskel gave it a thumbs up, commenting on the noise and intensity of the film, but also stating that he found the film to be amusing. Ebert went on to name Armageddon as the worst film of 1998, though he originally was considering Spice World. I rewatched Spice World in the past few years. That movie's pretty funny. Is it a work of art? No. Is it Hard Day's Night? No. But there's some pretty funny shit in that movie. Like when they go to visit that boy who's in a coma.
I haven't seen it. So
okay.
No.
So there's a part where this is the type of humor it is. And this goes throughout the entire movie. They go to visit a boy in a coma, and the 5 of them are around the bedside, and they start from the top. It's like, it's me, baby, and me, Ginger, and me, Sporty. And they're like whispering to the kid. And then it gets to fucking Victoria Beckham, and she goes, "And I'm Victoria," and like yells in the kid's face. Like, that's the type of humor you get in that movie. So truthfully, I would take Spice World any day of the week over Armageddon.
I would like to think that there are worse movies than both of those in 1998.
Oh, there has to be, man.
Yeah.
But I love a good Roger hate sesh.
He's like a dog with a bone. Like once he gets onto something with both the praise and the hate, and that's part of why we love him. But
and Gene, man, just fucking. I don't even know if he liked it. He probably just like. At the 1999 Academy Awards, 71st annual, hosted by Whoopi Goldberg, Armageddon found itself nominated for a slew of awards. Let's see here. They have 7 nominations, it looks like.
That is way more than I would have expected.
I'm sorry, 4 nominations.
Okay, that's more in line with both.
Still, it's crazy. So, nominated, Armageddon was for Best Visual Effects, in which it lost out to What Dreams May Come. It was nominated for Best Sound and also Best Sound Effects Editing, both of which lost out to Saving Private Ryan, as you would guess. And Best Original Song, which will come back up a couple times here in just a second, as I Don't Want to Miss a Thing lost out to When You Believe from the Prince of Egypt.
Man.
Yeah.
Did Aerosmith perform at the Oscars?
Were they doing that yet?
They definitely were. It's more like, had they stopped at that time?
No, they did. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because Madonna performed... did she perform for Evita? I think... that was 96.
Man, I might have to track that down. I'm curious what that performance looks like. That's just so funny. That for this movie, fucking Aerosmith is up there.
As when they hit like that final, the crescendo of the song, and the entire crew, like all the drillers, come from behind.
Scorsese just stands up and starts clapping.
Will Patton, dressed in his astronaut suit.
All right, at the MTV, the reason for the season. Well, before we get to the MTV Movie Awards, let's talk about the 1988 MTV Video Music Awards, in which Aerosmith. Is this the one? Did I get this right? Yes. Okay. So the Video Music Awards that year in '98, they won Best Video from a Film for the one we've talked about. That was the film tie-in. It was up against Beck Deadweight from A Less Than Ordinary Life, Celine Dion from My Heart Will Go On. If you've never seen that, she's on the fucking end of the ship.
But this one's better, right? I know you love My Heart Will Go On in the video, but...
Okay. Puff Daddy with Jimmy Page for Come With Me, which, to quote Charles Barkley, probably not the best time, but there is a part where P. Diddy stares down Godzilla in that music video. Praz featuring Old Dirty Bastard and Maya, Forget a Superstar from Bulworth, and then Goo Goo Dolls with Iris from City of Angels, which that's a pretty fucking cool music video. I mean, that's an incredible song. Yes. It was pretty cool. Just for context of where we were at the time, video of the year went to Ray of Light by Madonna, and breakthrough video went to Smack My Bitch Up by The Prodigy, which that music video, for people that were a child at the same time I was, that was like porn. Like, you had to stay up till a certain hour where they could show that music video on MTV.
Okay, then I don't know it. I thought maybe I just always think of the one music video for Prodigy, and it's not.
Smack My Bitch Up is the one that's a first person perspective, and it's this night of debauchery that goes down. It's yeah. Anyway, used to be better. All right, so at the MTV Movie Awards of 1999, hosted by Lisa Kudrow, Armageddon nominated for Best Movie, lost out to There's Something About Mary. Best Male Performance, Ben Affleck, lost out to Jim Carrey for The Truman Show. Best Female Performance, Liv Tyler, lost out to Cameron Diaz for There's Something About Mary, which those who lived through that remember that movie being quite the sensation as well. Best on-screen duo of Ben Affleck and Liv Tyler, lost out to Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker. The two buckets of golden popcorn that Armageddon did take home being the best action sequence, The Asteroid Destroys New York City from Armageddon, and, shocker, best song from a movie, Aerosmith, I Don't Want to Miss a Thing.
It all built up to that.
It did.
Bruce Willis, snubbed. Completely left out of the MTV Movie Awards.
Come on, I love Bruce, but Bruce wandered on a set and
you get one take.
He thought he was recording lines again. Do you remember that video game he made, Apocalypse? He thought he was just doing another one because he speaks in sound bites here. Do you not know Apocalypse?
No.
Oh, dude, he made a video game for PlayStation 1. It was this
like, it's his likeness, or is it just his voice?
The game was Bruce Willis in Apocalypse. It was like marketed like a movie.
Is he painted blue? Does he fight the X-Men?
No. That game's crazy. I remember it was really hard, but like it's him, and then he like recorded a bunch of lines for it. Yeah. Maybe we'll do like a I don't know how we would cover something like that, but
I think if there's a YouTube video where they do the walkthrough,
yeah,
we could just do that.
Yeah, here it is. I had this game at some point in my life. I might still have it somewhere. Apocalypse, starring Bruce Willis, a third-person shooter platform video game. It features actor Bruce Willis, who provided likeness and voice for the main character, Trey Kincaid. All right, well, if you couldn't tell by this, Armageddon in contemporary times and modern times is pretty much known for the Aerosmith song.
I mean, and it's a good song. It's a great music video. So if nothing else, I would say before I tell you watch Armageddon, I'll tell you watch the music video for I Don't Want to Miss a Thing. And I think the emotion is about the same. That's
Yeah.
the way and the way that they. Well, I mean, we talk about it in the episode. The way that they insert the band into the movie is just fantastic. So I'm glad that they won that. And then as far as action sequence, I mean, I guess it's good, but it's also, again, it's only 2 years since Independence Day by now. But I'm like, yeah, 2 years ago they blew up the White House, and it was a little more spectacular.
Yeah, you're like, I made the same joke in the episode, but I'm gonna make it again. There was no lenticular cover of the VHS that highlighted the most memorable scene of this.
Should have just been a rotation of the cast. Like you move it, and Bruce disappears, but Ben Affleck shows up, and then...
No, it's the back cover is lenticular, and it's Billy Bob putting his head against the glass.
I will bring it up just because I found it so funny, and I didn't know, so I imagine some of you also maybe don't. There is a character poster for the Billy Bob Thornton character in this movie. Like I told Alex when I texted to him, maybe there are more. Maybe they did a character poster for every character. But when I was doing just image searches for our webpage, the one that came up was the Billy Bob Thornton one, without me even doing a search for it. It was just, and it's funny because it's Billy Bob Thornton staring, straight at you, and it has the name of his character, whatever it is, and then it has like his own little tagline, like he's doing it for Earth or whatever. So,
okay, I'm finding here. I found a banner that would have been to theaters. Okay, so it's Armageddon, and it goes Willis, Tyler, Affleck, Thornton, Will Patton, and then Buscemi. So Harry, he's doing it for honor. Grace, she's doing it for... She's not doing anything. She's doing it for love, is what it says. AJ, he's doing it for her. Truman, he's doing it for his country. Chick, he's doing it for the thrill. No, he's not.
What?
Rockhound, he's doing it for the money.
Chick is doing it for the money. He's a gambler, right? Like that was the whole thing. Yes. Will Patton is doing it for the money, and Buscemi is doing it because he's a pushover. He didn't want to do it, but he was like, "I'm not going to say no," and he gets bullied to doing it. Anyway,
man,
if you own that banner, hit us up. Send us a picture. We'll display it on our Patreon. That's what we need. We need more character posters, guys.
And if you want to buy a banner from the original Thor movie that's like 16 feet wide, hit me up because I have one that I've been trying to sell.
What is a Thor? He's doing it for...
He's doing it for Dad.
Yes. Odin. He's doing it for the paycheck. And it's just like...
Dude, it's Hemsworth, Natalie Portman, Idris Elba, and fucking Hopkins.
Oh, Tom Hiddleston is not there? They didn't put Loki on the... I guess just good guys?
This is back when we didn't know the evil we were creating, man. But I got that, and I got a fucking huge 10-foot Selma Blair banner. So those of y'all interested, chat me up.
All right. Well, that is it for Armageddon. Like we said, we have the full episode on the main feed. Watch it, don't watch it, either way. Just watch the music video and then listen to the show. Coming up next, moving on, no more epics in space, at least not for the remainder of the month. Instead, we're going to go more personal. We're going to go to a different threat. When the threat comes from within, the call is coming from inside the household, Alex. It's the nanny. We're going to talk about the hand that rocks the cradle, which...
That's an incredible segue, sir.
It just came out as I was talking. I was like, I really hope this leads somewhere. Rebecca De Mornay won Best Villain at the MTV Movie Awards. So that's how it got to our lineup here. So
Julianne Moore.
Julianne Moore.
Returns to the Contrarians.
Yes, last time we had her, we were not particularly thrilled with her performance in the Psycho remake. Let's hope that she can only go up.
To be fair, I was not particularly thrilled with anything in that movie. James Remar, that was it.
Yeah. So watch The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. That's next. It's fresh, surprisingly fresh on the tomato meter. So we're going to be pretty snarky about it in the Contrarians Corner, and then you know how it goes. So that's it for now. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Cheap patriotism.